Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at, ultimately, a little bit of a discussion around in-game. Now I want to talk about in-game because I think what a lot of people don't seem to understand is that Dokkan is a gacha game. So, firstly, to exercise this example, I'm talking about the Giant Form event. Now, Giant Form event recently just came out. Obviously, we had some new stages added into it. It's a whole new event. And the missions that were added in, surprise, surprise, deal predominantly with corroded body and mind, developing strength orbs, etc. All of which caters towards the newly released unit. And I think the first thing that people need to understand is that most of the hardest content in Dokkan is designed around having the newest units. At least if you want to complete it straight away. If we take a look, for example, at, let's say, the 10th year anniversary, all of the red zone missions, all of the red zone stages, all of those things were designed around having, basically, the 10th anniversary units, or every single EZA, except for the 10th year anniversary units. That's really how Dokkan does its content. You either have the units or you have the EZAs that allow you to do the stage anyway. That requires you to be more of a legacy player. So it's kind of how they cater towards their older, more loyal fan base. The thing with content difficulty is that in the moment it can be very hard. You might see a boss, they do 5 million super attack. Wow, that's crazy. They might have 400 million health. Wow, that's nuts. I've never seen anything like that. And then, the thing is, within 6 months, it's not. It's not hard. Dokkan has a very, very specific, almost 6-month cycle. You have anniversary in Jan. You get a little bit of boost, a little bit of boost, a little bit of boost, a little bit of boost. Anniversary is always a huge power spike. And then you have Worldwide Celebration in July. Similar level units, if not maybe even slightly higher, but similar level units. And then you have 6 months of filler releases, or 5 months of filler releases, to fill out the meta, give you different challenges. So like the Giant Form events, not any harder per se than any other content, but it is obviously, technically speaking, hard content. But it's not any harder than any of the red zones, but it's very peculiar because it requires specific units. So you get filler content with specific units that do certain things or have certain challenges uncovered. And then that's it. You get a couple of releases that cater to certain events, like we'll get 1 or 2 for Festival of Battles, and then the cycle repeats itself. So every 6 months you get a change. It goes from long form to short form. It will go from status heavy to non-status heavy. It will Battle Hardened Heroes was one that we got during the 10th anniversary. All of a sudden, you wanted stunning again, sealing again, it was short form content, battle to battle, healing. Then it changed, Festival of Battles. Oh, now we just want stackers, stack, 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 stack. Then they release another version of short form content. Then it's mid-tier content or mid-form content, which is 10 phases, 10 to 15 phases. Ultimately, Dokkan has a in-game cycle. And the reason I bring it up is that, as a player, don't panic if you miss out on the cycle. Big time, a lot of the things that players panic about is, oh, I can't do this event, I don't have this unit. That's okay. You will eventually get that unit. Or you'll get one that's better than that unit. Or you'll get a revamp to the whole game that creates a free-to-play team that can all hit 20 million and completely invalidates every free-to-play team that's come before it. That's how it is. Like, at the end of the day, that's where Dokkan's at. It is essentially a 6 to 7 month cycle game that will just rejuvenate, alternate its different forms of in-game content, up the numbers, and then keep moving on. And that's fine. Doesn't have to be anything else. I like that for what it is. I know that I will eventually get units that will crush the challenges I cannot do. As a YouTuber, I have to do all the challenges straight away. I guess that adds fun to it, of course. And you don't need to wait. I'm not saying you have to wait. But more just means like, enjoy Dokkan really more for the collection aspect. That's what I enjoy it for. collecting units, playing with the units, seeing their animations, trying out fun new things, and yes, going back and beating a whole bunch of stages with them. Trying them out and seeing, wow, is the Corroded Body and Mind team good now? Can I use them for this mission? Can I do them for that? Wow, these 3 free-to-play units, do they actually help the team? Is Baby good enough to solo this? Is he good enough to do that? And if you do that, you tend to have more fun, I find. Because when you only focus on beating the most recent and newest and bestest, hardest content, you tend to, I think, get a little bit almost too focused on what units can't do rather than what units can do. Oh, this unit can't do Festival of Battles, they suck. Or, oh, this unit's only good for 1 stage, they suck. Sometimes that's true. And there are sometimes units that don't really hit the right marks, that are not at the right standards. But for me, personally, I've learned that I enjoy Dokkan a lot more if I'm not focused on the primary goal of beating the latest and greatest stage. That's just how I view things. When I focus my primary goal on trying out new units, collecting new units, seeing if new teams have received enough updates, then that makes me enjoy things a lot more. And there's always ways to work around challenges. A lot of my videos are always me working around beating a stage without the latest unit, more so than beating it with the latest unit. So, that's also is fun as well. Like, they usually do give us, like I said, enough tools to make things work. Just not always straight away. Sometimes it comes in the form of multiple EZAs later on. We have to see. But yeah, that's it from me.